look at that sleepy boy. We were all blessed with the sleepy boy today. And he knows I'm talking about him. It me. Hello. Welcome. Crow, you are thinking correctly. Maybe I should have done a chocolate chip pizza. Thinking. You're thinking right there. Which one, Jeff? What do I hydrate with? Silver, thank you for that host. Dealer's choice. Are you technically the dealer? Hello, Tubi. It's been a bit. How are you? I'll take the water then. Maybe what we need to do for people who want to like have that need to play like a blackjack game. Maybe we need to have like a group of us just online playing. Nice. Nice. Just in the trash. No. Or just get in the turnip market like we all are. Woo! No, I've been out of the turnip market for a few days. So my schedule's been a little weird. and now with the having to stay at home, I'm thinking of doing some of these like afternoon time cooking streams. And then I could finish my workday in the evening. So I'm gonna try that out for a little bit. It's something that I will probably be working out with Jeff too if he wants to do like some kitchen co-ops and stuff earlier in the day, just because I feel like evenings in general Twitch is pretty crowded. In the afternoons it's a little lighter, but right now everyone's at home. A lot of people are at home. Let's see. Online multiplayer. It's better than the time I went gambling. See, to actually be up, that's pretty good. I think that's the best. Like, if you're gonna go out and go gambling, you just go and say, "This is my spending money. This is money that's not gonna exist later," and enjoy yourself. I think blackjack is one of the only ones I've done like at an actual like casino, and the dealer was really nice because they could tell that we were new, and even the two people playing too, because it's kind of a solo game. They were all real nice and just kind of like, okay, no, you're at that number, don't do that. Okay, if you say so. So yeah, that's me. So hello, welcome. I'm making cookies now. This is a cookie recipe I've done previously. I think a little less than almost a year ago now. I tested this recipe and I had a bunch of different like test factors, and this is the end result of the one that I was like, this is the good chocolate chip cookie. I am mostly going to be following it. There's one exception. I don't have like bar chocolate, so instead I'm using chocolate chips. But the cookie dough does need to rest for a little bit, so I'm not sure how many we're gonna make today, but I'm like prepping myself to have chocolate chip cookies. The nice thing is I can put all of them after they're like made and set in the freezer, and then I'm like, oh, I want a cookie. Take one out of the freezer, put it in the oven, and it heats up nicely. So yeah, the dealer was gonna get our money either way. So yeah, she's like, whatever. Whatever. It has been a bit since I've made these, so I have to like really look at my recipe. Let me just double check, because there is a cover with plastic wrap and let rest in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour, and for up to a maximum of 2 days. If you're not going to bake these yet, place in a Ziploc bag and place in the freezer for up to 2 months. So I'll have chocolate chip cookies for days, and I should get, let me see. It gives me about 28 cookies. So between Jeff and I, that's 14 days of cookies. Victory there. So I need a cup 1 cup. So that's 1. It's 2 sticks of butter, which is 2 sticks, I believe. That would be half a cup. Yeah, this is 2 cups of butter. So we're going to go ahead and heat our butter, and we want it. It's going to cook for about like 10 minutes over the stove. We want it to get a nice like golden brown color. It gives a nice caramelization flavor to the cookies, which is really, really good. And one of the more important things with this step that we're going to do, we want to make sure we let the butter cool completely. So we're going to start this first. And I know with this, I only have the fancy butter because this is what I was able to buy. It was cheap. That's why I have a lot of it and it doesn't go bad. I still have a whole box of this left. Should get me through things. So let's see. I'm going to switch over this camera. So I have just a regular old saucepan. No heat right now, but I'm going to turn my heat on to like that medium-ish. Because we don't want this butter to boil. We want it to melt and then just slowly heat over till, again, it gets that nice golden brown. We're going to have to kind of babysit it a little bit because we don't want it to bubble too much. And we want to stir as it does its thing. Oh. How is everyone this wonderful Thursday afternoon? Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. It's been pretty easy to like lose track of what day of the week is. It's been weird. Cool. I'm mostly like I could start like be like, oh, here's the pizza dough too at the same time. But I'm gonna be a little clever with the timing just because I know the cookies need about an hour. The longer they're in the fridge, the better. I want to at least bake 2 of them so y'all could see it. Just like the days, they've blurred. I don't know what day it is. I've been in a few meetings with like coworkers for things, and since I have a bunch of extra webcams, I've made sure to occasionally go in and go, here's Kanji, because since Kanji was able to go to work with us and go to the office, people are pretty sad that they don't get to see him. So it's like, okay, let me make sure. Hey, here he is. Go ahead. He's being a good boy. Okay, Renee, hear me out. Act like you're gonna do your commute. And set a time in the day. Maybe take a bath. Maybe once a week, just to kind of have that same moment to like zen yourself out, or use that like commute time that you would have to like unwind and just get ready for it. Take a bath. Do that. Once a week, and just give yourself like a few moments to be like, okay, life is this. I am personally not quarantined. I'm not sick. I'm not like feeling ill. I'm completely fine. But here in Houston, there is a stay-at-home work order, I think until the end of April. So we're definitely staying here and not going out if we don't need to. But I am now, for my actual, like my day job, I am staying home and doing the work there. But I'm incredibly lucky that I'm able to do that. Okay, so they're keeping it pretty light. Are there, I don't know how many like cases there are out there in Sweden. No, here in the States the numbers kind of keep climbing, so that's why they're slowly. Oof. Okay. Yeah, they've. I mean, the U.S. is. There's some things, but yeah, we're. It's one of those kind of stay at home. Do what we can. I know for Jeff and I, we pretty early said, okay, you know what, let's do our part. Let's just stay home because we can. Let's not worry about like possibly getting sick or getting other people sick if we were already sick. So it's one of those like weird situations of like, okay, we need to just be careful. You know, we all get to watch butter melt very slowly. I mean, yeah, it's kind of the same. It's like, actually, last weekend with Jeff's family, one of them, just funny because these are people we usually don't see. Not his immediate family, but his cousins were like, oh, we should have a Zoom meeting so we could all see each other and see how we're doing. And I thought that was clever to at least be like, hi, family, this is us. This is how we're doing. These are the things that's happening in our life. And I was like, okay, it was kind of like a nice, like, pick up and say, hello, this is what we're doing. We're okay. You're all okay. Good. Everyone's living life and everyone's fine. Everyone's staying at home. So that was a nice thing. I think next week we're supposed to be maybe doing something with Jeff's family directly. So I think for me personally, the weirdest part is not going to a grocery store. Dude, I typically did it every week, and I've not gone in a while. I think next week is the first time we will be going, but I'm like planning my list already for like going and not having to go for another 3 weeks. So having enough stuff. Like I have a decent amount of things, but I'm out of like fresh vegetables and whatnot, and that will drive me nuts slowly. Alright, so because this is melted, it's going to kind of keep doing that bubbling from time to time, so we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on it and lift it and kind of like give it that little swirl. I might reduce the heat a little bit because I don't want it to keep bubbling like that. But we want this from this gold, like it is a bright yellow right now, but we want it to kind of brown out a little bit and kind of get that deep, rich flavor. Butter's a little more sensitive than other butters that I've used. It's so good. I'm actually curious how this will work. I don't think I tested between European or American butter, if there was that big of a difference. Oh my god. Noises again. Because it adds a nice, rich flavor doing that. Just that extra, like, bit. I know for a while when I was making, before I did that whole big test, I was like, why would you melt the butter? It doesn't make sense. I think I did it once and I did it completely wrong, where I melted it and then immediately put it in and the cookie spread. So I was like, okay, there has to be a reason why a lot of like higher end cookie places are like, hey, you should melt your butter. There's a reason for it. And then when I finally was like, okay, kind of let it go, let it cool for long enough so then it doesn't melt anything, makes a big difference. But I'm excited for these. Since I'm like planning my schedule out too for the next few weeks of streaming, I was like, what am I gonna make? So I think I have stuff picked out for Breath of the Wild. I'm thinking maybe next Friday, either next Thursday or Friday, that'll be happening. So kitchen co-op for that. And then I think 2 weeks after that, I have another one. I'm not sure what it's gonna be yet. It's I guess more dependent on because that'll be further out. So I'm like, let's see what'll happen then. We are planning to go to H Mart again. With EBs and possibly Stewa. So I think the main reason we're doing that is I know a lot of Asian grocery stores here are still being hit pretty hard, like people not going as often to them. So we want to try and at least support them. I don't need anything from Costco right now. But I know I've heard from people, like, just in general, like, every place has kind of started calming down a little bit as the weeks have gone by. So, but the weird thing is, I was looking at HEB and like the curbside pickup stuff, and the earliest that I could get something is like a week from now, and that was yesterday. So I'm sure it's still a week from now. Also, the only thing I'm sad about with all this happening around this time of year, HEB tends to have like big sales for specific things, because of Easter, and there'd be like prime ribs on sale, and they would have more duck and stuff at some of the HEBs, and they would be at a like a decent discount. And now it's like I have to be careful, like I don't get to get those benefits. Could stop at like the weirdest place that's like easy to get like duck breast at is these liquor stores here in Houston, and I'm like, Exactly. Curry is like, I made the curry 2 days ago, and that'll last us a bit. I have to. That's it's the interesting thing, trying to like figure out foods to make and being like, okay, this makes a lot of leftovers and it'll last this long, and this will make a lot of this and this will last this long. Yeah. What's up, Shibo? Yeah, it's like the liquor store. It has duck breast and duck legs. I'm like, what? Excuse me? What? Yes, this makes sense. It was one of the bigger shocks for me. I'm like, okay. I wish the ducks were selling the liquor. Oh yeah, I imagine potatoes don't do the best in the freezer. There's a nice like chart that I took a look at before all this, where it's like, this is the shelf life of things depending on how you refrigerate it, and like eggs. You cannot freeze eggs, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. They kind of do funky things. No need to bother with that. But like dates of like how long ground meats could be in there, how long beef and chicken, and the differences of that. I'm like, okay. I think the big thing for me is we have a lot of like meat still in the freezer, and that's not the issue. It's more vegetables. So I think this time around I'm gonna make sure to grab some extra like frozen stuff just to see. Or I'd imagine, yeah, poorly. But it's just interesting to try and figure out, like, okay, I'm making this, and I have to buy all this for like 2-3 weeks from now. So it's a very different like hat for me to wear. And the weirder thing is me trying to figure out like blog stuff. I'm like, okay, I think this weekend, not this weekend, next weekend, because I'm not going shopping until next week. I'm like, okay, I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, like maybe 5 or 6 recipes, and next week maybe like 4, just to like make sure I don't have like a big like, sorry, I don't have any ingredients or I haven't planned anything. So I'm hoping this to be at least ahead of that, and that there will be no disruption of like blog posts. One thing I'm pretty sure I'm going to be doing, I'll turn it up, is I'm probably going to make more dumplings, because doing that a few weeks back, those have been great in the freezer, and they work real nice. What else? The chicken nuggets, I still have the chicken nuggets from a little bit ago, and that was wonderful. Oops. The honey nugget recipe that I made, I made a bunch of them because I did a double batch, me knowing ahead of time. I packed 2 cases of it. I was able to take them out of the freezer and heat them up in the oven for like 30 minutes, and they tasted fine. So that was good. I was like, heck yeah. I'm just waiting for my butter to kind of do its thing. It's starting to slowly. Which is nice. Hooray! And thanks to the pizza dough. Yeah, I'm gonna do in between. I like to let my pizza dough rest in the fridge like overnight. It allows for a slower rise, and that leads to it helps avoid like the big pockets of air in there. Yeah, we're getting there. You guys won't get to see like the end result, but I want to make the dough and get that set for Jeff and I to have tomorrow night. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Ooh, nice. Like I have to probably. Stews are such a wonderful thing. Stews and soups are good things to deal with because you can freeze them real nicely and have them sit there for a bit. Probably should do some stew this week. Ooh. Should have a bunch of stuff for like a minestrone soup. That wouldn't be a bad thing to make either. That sits for a while. So what was it, last Friday? Yeah, on stream we did like the chicken parmesan. I think it was Friday. Still have, I think I have like one more serving of that. And then the curry is going to last like most of through the weekend. I'm happy about it. I do have like 3 potatoes here and 2 sweet potatoes that I probably need to do something with. Oh yeah, for sure. I think if people are starting to like get into the kitchen, and I know a lot of people are now starting to get into the kitchen, meal prepping will help them a lot. Making something that makes a lot of leftovers is a very clever thing to do right now, just because cooking can be intimidating, and you're not going to be, some people might not want to spend all that time. I'm more than willing to like sit in a kitchen and figure things out. But I could tell, I know for some people it's rough and it's hard to think about and wanting to do that. I've had a few days where I'm like, thank goodness I have these leftovers because now I don't need to do anything. We're almost there. And instead, all I could do is play Animal Crossing and ignore everything that's going on in the world. I am happy. Okay. Renee's here. Renee, you get to listen to a deep, dark secret that I've held for the whole 2 days. Someone messaged me the other day and told me, hey, my friend on this island, they have their turnips at 500 and some. So I was like, uh-oh. It was hard because they kind of had it open for like a lot of people. So it was a little difficult to get into. But I got there. I did that. And then I was like, oh, I hope mine goes up so at least some people could benefit from a high amount. Which my turnips did hit 300 today, which was nice. I think that was a nice, like, little cost. So at least people made a decent profit. Ooh, there we go. So you can see it's starting to get, like, it's starting to brown out a little bit. You can see it's getting darker as it, like, and foamy too. Nice and dark as it continues to do this. I think we're gonna need just a few more minutes and then that'll be set and beautiful. 610. Oh jeez. Oh, that's so rough. Mine was like They on the island it was selling originally for 102. I had a friend who had it at 92, and that's what I picked it up at. And then it started. I want to say it was like 90, and then it kept dropping, and then it started like going up a little bit, and then it just kind of did an up, a little sag, and then it went whoop to the 300 mark, and now it's down. It's at 160, I think, right now. Sup, Chiptune? I'm doing well. How are you? So yeah, there's a group of us that are like kind of keeping track of our numbers and seeing how. Ooh, there we go. Look at this. There we go. We're turning off that heat. We've already. Look at that lovely brown. Actually. You can kind of see it's. Ooh, and it smells real nice. You can see it's a lot. It's whisking it. Yeah, it's definitely. There you go. Now you can definitely get like all that lovely, lovely, delicious in there. I'm gonna take it off the heat from here, and we're gonna have to let it sit for a little bit before we do anything else with it. I will transfer, but I'm gonna give it a second to kind of chill out. Go back to main, and I'm gonna move that camera because we're not gonna be there anymore. I don't think. There we go. Yeah, that butter set up real nice. Ooh, Chiptune, some good news. This weekend I'm spending time and I'm going to be planning a bunch of recipes. So fingers crossed, the Sunset Sarsaparilla should be up, I want to say around, just because I have a few things scheduled and already done, May-ish. So that I'm going to start working on this weekend, and then I think I'm going to go out food shopping and stuff next week. Whoop. Right. Let me think about this. Where do I want... I'm like, camera, where do we go? Yeah, I was starting to make my list of things. I was like, I looked at a few Animal Crossing recipes that I want to do now. The big one I want to do is every time you see Isabelle and she's like, "What's up?" I want to make the drink that she's doing. Still trying to decide on that one. Like, is it the whole thing of alcohol? Is it like an iced coffee or an iced tea? I think it's gonna be dependent on the day she's having. I think it's either gonna be coffee or tea, and then. Whoop. Oh, that looks wonderful. That browned real nicely. See, I'm excited about that one. What else was I looking at? Animal Crossing things. I think I'm gonna do another Breath of the Wild one because it's been a bit. A bunch of stuff that I was like, this seems like these are ingredients that I shouldn't have an issue finding in general, so that'd be good. Bum, bum, bum. Alright, so I think as... Hello? As our butter is kind of like cooling down, main thing I want it to... Yeah, it's very hot. I guess I could put... Ooh, that tastes so good. I'm gonna take it out of the saucepan just because the pan itself is still hot. So removing it from there will at least help with the cooling process a little quicker. Go ahead and scoop all of that out, and we'll let it sit here for a little bit. What I could start doing is prepping our dry ingredients, kind of putting those in a separate bowl and making sure all of that is mixed together. Okay. Uh-oh, Kaji Pets, you know what? This is a perfect time, because I ain't got nothing going on. We're letting things cool. Are you gonna get big pets? You are gonna get big pets. Hello, Kenji. Hello, little beano, good boy. We did Kanji's walk earlier today because we're like, well, I'm going to be streaming right now. Let's give him his big walk right now. White rain also? That would be nice. Wouldn't that be nice? Beano, good boy, Kanji. I gotta wash the Beaky baby. Alright, so we have our butter melted. Let's see. 'Cause I was trying to figure out the angle. Probably higher up. We'll give you all a better vantage point of this. Kanji is such a... That's all him. He does that on his own. He's such an easy, like, to take care of pooch. And it's real nice to be like, oh, do your thing. Alright, so I'm gonna look real quick at what that looks. Yeah, they'll give you all, like, that in, like, real close, spinny life once we get in there. For now, we'll leave that off. What I'm gonna do, set this aside. Of course, Chipton, thank you for stopping by. And have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Enjoy yourself. Alright, so let's see. I need 2. Where are you going? I don't know why you've suddenly enjoyed, like, sitting right there, Kanji. This is one of the bowls that I have. So I'm going to go ahead. In this bowl, we're going to mix up. I use all-purpose flour, bread flour, because the bread flour with the higher gluten gives a nice little chew to the these cookies. I also use oats in it. I like what the oats do texture-wise to these cookies. That's why we're going to use them. Also, part of me had forgotten that this recipe uses bread flour. It's like, oh good, I have more bread flour than regular flour. That's the one I have a lot of. That's the ingredient that I'm not too hopeful in finding. Like flour in general, because I think a lot of people are doing more breads at home. I do have, like I said, a whole extra thing of bread flour right now. So let's see. The hat. Vicky. Where is my cup measure? Oh, here it is. Ta-da! I'm looking for something. There it is. Alright, so I need 3/4 cup of regular all-purpose flour. And I think with this recipe you could go ahead and be like, oh, okay, I could just do one. I wouldn't do just bread flour, which you could probably get away with just all-purpose flour. Oops. There's that. And then I want to take a cup of bread flour, again, the higher gluten, leading to a better chew on the cookie. Oh shoot, Jeff, I was like planning like recipes for the like breakfast stuff. Should make everything bagels again. Those were so good. But not like a million of them. And now I want 2 cups of the oats. Let me quickly dust this off. I have a whole other bag, and that bag's gonna get transferred into here. December 2021. Just kind of quickly change my note on here. December. Oh. They're no longer baking them. They take a bit of work. I did some from scratch. They're really good if you make them from scratch, but they do take work. But they're not as intimidating as like they seem. But I'm sure for someone who's like not able to go to New York right now with all the stuff going on, a New York bagel is very good. But I was very happy with like the end result that we had, because the bagels, there was that good chew and everything was there. I was like, okay, this is good. We're close. But I also have the benefit of like having been to New York once in my my life, so I don't have that like high standard of like extra thick. I'm like, what? Did I buy the right one? Yeah, that's fine. It's a little toastier than the other ones. A mixer does make your life easier. I think... Did I use a mixer? I don't think I used a mixer. I think I did it all by hand for the bagel, because my mindset was, well, this is your first set that you're doing, or set. But I think I had 4 different doughs that I experimented with. And I was like, you know what, let's do it by hand just to get like the idea of how this works. And it was nice. It was just a lot of kneading. So, but I really like my mixer. I highly recommend a KitchenAid, any grade of them. I had originally the Artisan one, and it's a great mixer. It's just, I had abused mine because it got used a lot. And I think it got used more than like the average person would use it. Then I eventually upgraded this one, which is like the professional 6500 series. But it's, with how often I'm using it, it's real nice. So we're doing 2 teaspoons of salt. Salt kind of enhances that flavor, and it sounds like a lot, but it works real nicely with these cookies. Then we're doing a teaspoon and a half of baking soda. That's all of our dry ingredients, right? Bread flour, all-purpose flour, baking soda, salt, oats. It's all in there. I'm just going to use this and kind of give it a little mixy mix. And I know I also need to grab 2 eggs. It's kind of like prepping things so it's all ready to go before... God. Sorry, go ahead. You can lay back down. Like looking at my recipe and going, okay, what have I done? All right, 2 eggs. Or as my note wrote, 2 egg. see, is this still pretty warm? So I need that to cool. I need it to be nice and cool. Sugar. Guys, let's in a small bowl. I'll mix these two sugars. So we're using plain white sugar and some brown sugar. I typically, for this recipe, I use dark brown sugar. I only have light brown sugar in the house right now. So the brown sugar is used for that extra molassesy flavor. The darker it is, the more caramelized of a flavor it'll be. This is what we got. This is what we go with. Substitutions like that you can do. Just anticipate the flavor to be slightly different than what it would be. It's still going to be tasty. It's not like it's a make or break deal, in my opinion there. Stay there. Oh my gosh. Alright, so 1/4 cup. Hopefully I have that much because this is all I had. Brown sugar is one of those weirder ones where I'm like, yeah, I'll have it in the pantry typically, but I don't have like a lot of it most times. But conveniently, we got enough, just enough. 3/4, half. Plus a half will make it the 1 1/4, and I want half the regular white sugar too. I know the brown sugar tends to be a little more wet in a sense, so it's like, I say wet, but like kind of stickier and clings to like the measuring cups and whatnot. Keep thinking I'm gonna go through that sugar quicker, but I haven't yet. I still have, and I have another bag of. That's good. I could at least keep making desserts for y'all. Probably not the best thing for me to be doing for myself, but these kind of desserts are good because I could like store it and let it sit in the freezer. Like I said, it's 14 days worth of cookies. It's just a matter of, I purposely do it where I'm not going to bake all of them just because it then forces me to be like, okay, do I really want a cookie? Do I go ahead and put it in the oven, heat up the oven, heat that up? But it is nice to have that as an option. Grab this real quick and kind of start. No, whisk this a little bit. Again, we're trying to reduce the heat of this. We don't want it to be too hot. It's cooled down, definitely. This is the outside. Because we heated it up, just taking a little bit of that, it kind of gives it like this warm, like nutty flavor that's really nice. Caramely nutty flavor. It's just like, and it really enhances the, I swear, God. Crunchy's making me work today on his camera. Coach. Make up your mind. Okay. Actually, just whisking this, the smell of it just like keeps wafting up, and it's butter. What a wonderful ingredient. We have most of our stuff set up. But let's do this. Let's be smart about this. That in there. Turn. I'm gonna leave it. No, I guess let's make that the main focus for now. That angle's a little weird, let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and put the melted butter in here. Kind of like have to hug the So I'm using the paddle attachment, and it has a nice little like side thing that is going to help with like the scraping. With a cookie dough, it is going to be a lot thicker, so you want to kind of make sure to use this specific attachment. If you're using that, it does make a difference. I'm going to lift this up first and kind of let it stir for a little bit. It's going to make that thick thunk thunk sound if it catches that, because it's hitting against the bowl. But the nice thing is it does make sure that the sides are kind of getting scraped down a little bit. Heck yeah! Yes! Good job. That is, I think it enhances it a lot. Letting it there. Oh, because I'm yelling. I'm yelling here. That's why she's a sleepy boy. Sleepy boy and then waking up. I was trying to decide for planning my weeks out. I was like, do I make the teriyaki salmon or the... I think I'm leaning towards the honeyed salmon that I have for Breath of the Wild, just because I think that's our next kitchen co-op. So I was like, I could do that and the egg tarts and just kind of make it a double whammy. Also because, yeah, I'm like, that's probably the sets of plans that I have for fish. Okay, let's see. So, brown, pour in a cup, let it cool. In a large bowl, place the butter. Fine. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add our sugars in here and kind of let that whisk together. I'm going to use this same bowl to kind of like put my eggs in. So we're going to let that go for a bit until it's like well incorporated. We want to make sure all the sugar and the butter are playing nice. As we keep letting it go too, it's going to help cool that butter down. So when we are adding our eggs, actually it's not too bad right now, so it's nice and cool. As we add the eggs, we're not going to be scrambling them. We're going to add our eggs one at a time also. The usual tip with eggs, crack it into a separate bowl. That allows you to look at it and go, okay, this looks fine. It's not, there's no issues with it, and then add it one at a time. That's just always a thing to do. Sam. So we never like finished the conversation of what time and when we wanted to get the squad back together. I was planning on doing Animal Crossing tomorrow in the afternoon, but I know Jeff is working all day. We're getting the band back. Because what time, or if tomorrow doesn't work, I'm open most of this weekend too. I don't need to work tomorrow. We could do Saturday. Like, I don't have anything going on. Jeff, someone has to pay the bills. That's both of us. Both of us have to pay the bills. It's an equal, we are an equal chance. Does Kanji look like he's making us money? I think he's costing us more than anything. 10,000 eggs. Haven't decided what we're either playing World War Z or what was the other game called? Kanji's making the money now. What is up? Thank you so much for them gifted subs. Okay, hold on. I have to actually Jeff, can you give Kanji all them treats? Thank you so much! Silver, you're so kind. I really appreciate it. Kanji money. Kanji, you're paying your bills. What a good boy. Did you ask him if he was hungry? Thank you so much. Give that pooch too. Got them good vibes. Oh, they got a butt wiggle. It was all worth it. Kanji's giving that butt wiggle. Or maybe Jeff gave the butt wiggle. I don't know who did. No, but what you asked earlier. Yes, we do. We do work at the same point. I'm gonna stop the minute. His butt is in frame. It's just Kanji butt. We could do World War Z. I mean, it was free, so I got it. Perfect. Jeff was telling me that I probably would have liked Left 4 Dead. But I never played it. I don't know why. I think because when we were in college, most people were playing it for like the competitive stuff. And that was the cool thing to do. And I was like, I don't want to do that. Truth time with Vicky. I've actually never played a Resident Evil game at all. Any of them. I'm adding, now this is a tablespoon of vanilla extract. So 3 teaspoons, about a tablespoon. Whoop. Okay. Yeah, I guess let's figure out with our boy Badger what time Saturday would people be up for it? Because I don't think anything's happening besides maybe like, no wait, I think it's supposed to rain. I think mowing the lawn will happen tomorrow. Yeah, I probably need to mow the lawn in the morning. Naps are supposed to happen. No, Jeff, I know we were supposed to get mulch, but I know. So I will counteract that with just mowing the lawn. Oh God. Why are you being so cute? Hey, focus, Vicky. We are going to take our dry ingredients. They're here in the... Here. They're super bright. They are the sun. We're going to add it slowly to kind of let it incorporate with our wet ingredients. Big old doofus. So we're giving it that moment to like suck all the dry ingredients in and not like overwhelm it. Because if you overwhelm it, it's gonna like poof up and there's gonna be like flour everywhere. We're also doing it at this slower pace. If you do put everything in at once, you could do like a rhythmic method just to be like, okay, here it is, kind of introduce it to kind of spin it slowly without causing too big of a mess. Actually, this bowl is like so much bigger than my previous one, so it definitely like it's easier to add the dry ingredients. It smells so good in here. Oh. Haji, you're not allowed to hide behind the bed. It smells like caramel. Should we have some dry ingredients that decided to stay on top of our thing? So we're going to go ahead and kind of... This one. The bandy one. Kind of... Okay, yeah, that's looking pretty nice. Let me let it mix a little more just because we put in some of that dry ingredients in there, and we just want to make sure nice and poofy. Beautiful. Good enough. There is our wonderful dough. Ta-ta! I'm gonna leave the nice. I'm gonna just go like this and like this and be like, Oh my god. This is a criminal. Actually, I think that buttered. Ooh. Ooh. We are gonna need... Maybe I haven't decided. Shuffle this over here for right now. We're probably going to need it for the pizza dough. Or maybe I'll knead by hand. Have to watch me work out. So here is our batter. Our delicious batter. For delicious cookies. So what we're going to add now... How do I pay you to send me these cookies? The issue right now is getting to, like, the post office or anywhere. How about this? After all this nonsense, when we could finally go back and visit one another, I'll make a batch of these cookies. I like excuses for cookies. Alright. So for this recipe, similar to the brownies, I like the addition of walnuts. Walnuts are optional. I personally really, really like them. So, I think we're going to do the same thing. We're going to kind of like crunch them up a little bit. And typically with this recipe, I would say take a bar of chocolate and chop it, because doing that nice rough chop lets you have like little shards of chocolate. A bit better than the chips, but this is what I have on hand. So that's what we'll go with. Probably try and make sure I pick up some extra chocolate just to have some, because desserts are nice and easy to make pretty consistently, as long as I don't go through all my butter that I have right now. I'm pretty sure there's more chocolate chips than the recipe typically calls for, but that ain't gonna hurt anyone. These are pretty large walnuts, so I am going to crunch them up. About a half cup. That one goes in my mouth. Nom 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 nom. I'm gonna take a Ziploc bag, put these in, and close it, and then oh, I was worried it got disconnected. And we're just gonna go clip, 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 clip. Yeah, I'll add more. We'll see how it looks once we kind of mix it in. Oh, we could add a little more, but we'll see. I'm gonna add a little more in the walnut department. Hello! Whoops, whoops. Lee, how are you doing this evening? I know it's late night over there. In the land of the UK. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. No, it's pretty late. Ah, beautiful. So there is our batter. Good to hear that it's not too bad. Things are going well. So the next thing I need to do is I have to get a baking sheet. I do have, yeah. There's definitely a lot of room in the fridge right now. Actually, what I'm going to do, because this will take a little bit to do, I'm going to make sure to take 2. Now, I'll take 4 of them and put them in the fridge ahead of time. No, I'll do 2, 4, 2, 2. And these will bake quicker than anything. Oh, did his itchy dog face? I missed your itchy dog face on stream? One of your best faces, can't you? Also gonna need another parchment paper for that bottom one. Jeff, how many? Should I make 2? 1 cookie for each of us for today? The rest of them I will be freezing. You want a cookie. Okay, so I'll make one for each of us. Okay, so we want our cookie pieces to be about 50 grams each. So we're definitely weighing this out. It really helps with making sure that it bakes at like the same rate, so there's no issues with that. That is the main thing. So I'm taking a weight. So you can skip this and kind of eyeball it. This guarantees that it's going to work nicely. These cookies are not for sharing. I need my delicious snacks for for chilling and making it through. Okay, so 50. Oh, exactly 50 now. All right. I want to make sure I do this right. Split dough in 50-size dough balls and place on parchment. Cover with plastic and let rest in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour up to 2 days. The longer you let it relax and chill in the fridge, the better. I found that freezing them also is really good. Very nice. A little more. Too much away. Right. Close enough. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and wrap these two. Our 2 over here and are in a little ball shape. I'm going to just wrap the plastic wrap gently on this set. And then I'm going to put it in the fridge. So, it's 3 o'clock. So 4-ish, we'll be able to put these in the oven to bake. Could rush chill it in the freezer, but it's gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take a little bit to finish doing these and then to also make the pizza dough. I was like, Kanji, you're being so rude to the camera today, but no, you got a little kanji rum. Now with this set here, we're not gonna have to worry about how like spread out they are. We're just putting them on here to let them chill, and they'll go into the freezer eventually. One tip with that, kind of similar with like the dumplings we've done before, is we're gonna let it sit in the fridge for the hour, and then after that I'm gonna put it in the freezer in this tray, probably for at least another hour before I put them all into a Ziploc bag. Transfer them, because if you don't let them rest and freeze a little bit, they'll all stick to each other, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I guess I am having chocolate chip pizza. Oh my goodness. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. At some point, as I keep doing this, I will get better at the collecting the right amount. Actually, let's change this angle up so you could at least get more. Yeah. Then you'll be able to see me attempting to measure it out. 41, 48, 51, close enough. Yeah, I'm just making them a little round, cookie chunks. 57. Like, so as I was putting that on, I'm like, this is. Kanji can't make up his mind today. You got restless bone syndrome? You're restless? I'm super excited because I noticed yesterday on Netflix the next season of Nailed It is up. I watched the first episode last night. I was like, ah, this show came at the perfect time. I really enjoy that show, and I do watch the things that these people are doing, and even I am comfortable in the kitchen, clearly. I could not finish those cakes as well as within that like time limit. The cake would at least taste good and it would be fine. It's like the designing part that I hate that part. I especially don't work with like fondant and all like the extra like molding chocolate and all that they'll have on like episodes. I'm like, I did like in the first episode they did like shaped cookies, but one of them was like a stained glass window in the background, and you kind of like smash Jolly Ranchers up and they'll melt in the oven, and it was a really, really cool effect. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. How can I use that to do something? I always laugh at that show because there are some like obvious mistakes that people are making when like trying to combine things, melting butter when you shouldn't be melting butter, and it's just like, oh, I love everything about that show. That whole show is just like, it's so good. It's so like outrageous, and even as someone who's like, yeah, cooking, I know how to do it. I'll watch like the bigger cooking shows, like the Great British Bake Off, and a bunch of other ones. And I'm just like, oh, I mean, yeah. Like, there are people who are like, I just want to bake, and I'm bad at it. So here I go trying to make things. And I give those people credit, because it's like, you know what? You are enjoying yourself, and you are at least trying, and you're not letting... braver than some people. But, like, baking is for sure the thing that I'm like, that's not a good place to start if you're starting in the kitchen. It seems like the coolest, like the most like, oh, people will love me for doing this. There are a lot of people who start in the kitchen that are like, I want to not really follow a recipe. Why would I follow a recipe? And it's like, there's a reason. Ooh, that one. And oh, it went down. It was like 50 and it was like 49. Like, oh, okay. Ooh. 53. I noticed too that Netflix had just recently changed the street food show, the title to it, to Asia. And then if you search, you can see that they have a Latin one listed. I haven't seen any of the episodes were there for, but I'm excited for the next one of that show. Because for me, street food is definitely more of my like thing when it comes to food styles. I much prefer going to a place like little holes in the walls and stuff like that compared to Michelin star places don't really like attract me. Like, I know, sure, they're fancy, they're great. Give me the cheaper food. Give me that. That's what I want. Got here, 55, 50. Wait. 56. 49.7. Close enough. Hello, Yon. Welcome. 55. Currently just like weighing out our cookie dough. What is it, 28? I feel like maybe there's more than that here. These rows of 5 just a bit easier for me. I guess, yeah, it'll be close to 28. 3. 8. It's 21, and I have 2 in there that are already resting. I guess that's the thing we need to do before streams is walk Kanji, and then he's like a sleepy boy and stays on camera for the most part. Ooh, heck. I wonder how pecans would probably be pretty good with this too. Rather than the walnuts. They're pretty sweet. 3. Yeah, this is definitely making more than. Because right now I've done 28. I think I'm gonna get about 32 of them today. Last one might be a little tiny. Well, right now is like the perfect time to do it. She mentioned that things were pretty lax right now in Sweden, so you guys aren't like stuck at home. Beautiful. So we have all of our dough weighed out, separated. Ta-da! I have 2 other ones, like there's 2 there, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 4, 28, 30. Yeah, 32 is what I got out of this. Oh no, everybody wants the cookies now. I'm gonna have to rinse this out. Ugh. Anyway, I'm gonna do the pizza dough completely by hand today. Get a workout. Okay, I'm gonna wrap these in the plastic wrap. Now, right now. No, Vicky cannot share. Could be. Maybe some future craziness, but for now. No, that I can't give kanji up. Definitely need kanji here. My sweet boy. Sweet boy, keeping me sane. Okay. So this set I'm gonna just put in the fridge. And then I guess when the timer goes off on that, I will go ahead and then put these in the freezer. Whoop, whoop. Oh yeah, it's just like, so only only just a little bit. Alright, so let me go ahead and like move things around in the fridge real quick. That is a bigger... Oh. It ain't gonna fit. Ba-ba-ba. I know this tray for sure fits in the freezer. Perfect. That's all set up. There we go. So I'm gonna clean the countertop real quick. I do see like there is a little bit of butter and stuff. So before we start doing, actually, even have, yeah. We can start doing and the pizza dough next. This is true. Cakes are definitely a lot like they're less work. It can be. It depends how much like you're like decorating it. I actually curse cakes sometimes because my smart self gave myself the task of every year that Jeff and I celebrate our anniversary for being married, I make a layer of cake. I think this year is going to be 9, so that's going to be interesting. Doesn't have to be 9 layers of cake on one. I think last year we had 2 cakes of each were, one was 5, one was 3, I think. Could have made it easier, made it 4 and 4, but meh. That's just how it worked out last year. Okay. So, pizza dough. Oh no, I know I did. I did this to me. This is my own fault. No one else is to blame but me. Okay, so let's see. Gotta pull up my pizza. And I have to, okay, this one I'm gonna have to remember as I'm doing this. I want to make a half portion of it. Because usually the dough recipe I use makes 4 medium to large size pizzas. And I'm just trying to like behave myself and be like, okay, I only need this much pizza dough for time being, just to make sure we have that. Oh, I need the measuring. What's that? Let me see if I have the clear. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. So the nice thing about this is we're not gonna have to proof our yeast before, or let the yeast like set and stuff. It just all kind of gets mixed in, and then we go ahead and knead it by. We're gonna knead it by hand today. Why not? We're gonna make things a little harder on ourselves today. All right. Like punch in that. So I'm gonna take my bread flour, 690 grams divided by half, 345 grams. Up. Went too far. Whoop. 49, 42, 3, 45. 345 grams of that. I need my yeast. 2.5. We're adding the yeast straight in here. Perfect. Exactly. It's just edible chemistry. It's perfect. The good kind of chemistry. So 38 minutes. Let me see what temperature. I know the cookies thing. Alright, 350. So I don't have to like start heating yet. But I might cheat with the set that we are gonna make today. I might start them earlier than that. Alright. So we've put the yeast and flour and now some sugar. 5 grams of sugar. 3.5, 4. 6.5. Whoops. Got a little aggressive there with the shaking. Salt. I need 2.5 grams. Bam. 2.5 on the spot. Alright. I think we're supposed to get storms tomorrow. I think. Houston likes to have storms later in the evening, so it's possible like this evening or tomorrow evening. But nothing right now. So this pizza dough, I'm using the dough. I'm actually using this dough recipe that I have. Is from Divinity Original Sin 2. I like to season. This one gets seasoned with garlic powder and fennel. Now I'm not making it with like the meat pieces in there because I don't have any of the meat. But I like what the fennel and the garlic does to the dough. So this is the one. Like this is the one I'm feeling today. But the fennel does I like that extra like flavor for this particular like for this dough. I have a few different, few other ones that have like other combinations that get used, but this one I like a lot. 2. Garlic powder. Yep, 2.5. And then my fennel is in a pantry. One moment. Boop, 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 boop. Fennel, where'd it go? There it is. Is it storming pretty bad, Sam? I'm not sure how big the storms were going to be. We do need rain, that's for sure. There you go, 5 grams. Okay, just some thunder. Nothing too crazy. Regular regular spring weather. Alright. I think the main reason I did it gives this nice, I don't know, I really like the flavor it adds to it. It's very, very good. So this is, these are our this is our dry base for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this whisk and just kind of make sure all of our ingredients kind of get whisked together. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I started adding spices to pizza dough, like, I think because I was like, oh, whatever, let's just kind of goof around with it and add extra, like, seasoning in there. And it's worked out pretty nice. It's one of those that I'm like, let's just throw this in and see what happens. And then if it works, I'm like, oh, this works pretty decently. So, okay. So I only want a cup of water. Cup of water. Can all of my fellow Animal Crossing people be angry with me about how many eggs there are everywhere now? I just want a fish, and I want to get new fish. Oh, they patched it? They fixed it? Renee, good job surviving the work call and then coming right into me complaining about it. Oh, thank goodness gracious. Did they say how much they changed it? Because I haven't played today. I ended up on Trash Island for one of the mystery islands yesterday night. And I was fishing, and it was like, okay, occasionally there'd be an egg, but it was more trash than anything. I'm like, okay, fine. But there were these big, like, water... They kind of look like roaches. But I was like, oh, these are dumb. They probably sell for, like, a couple $100. I look it up, and I'm like, these sell for $2K each. Oh, my gosh. I was like, just pick them all up. They just spawn so quick, too. But I'm very happy to hear they fixed the egg thing because it was kind of outrageous with fishing. Also, like, the stuff floating in the air was wild, too. It was just, like, non-stop. I'm like, okay. Can we please be done with this? You're gonna drive me nuts. That was just one day. Okay. So about a tablespoon-ish of... Huh? I planned ahead for once. So usually, I did a good job. I cut my nails ahead of time because when I'm working with dough, it can get stuck in the nails. So it's never fun. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of like, let's change the view. Have our stove cam. I'm going to just kind of like slowly add the water in while kind of mixing with my hand. You could do this like directly on the countertop. If you're using a stand mixer, just go ahead and use the stand mixer and be happy. We're getting our arm workout today. And we have time right now as we wait for the cooking to rest. I think with this pizza's, I have canned artichoke. So I'm always gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do one garlic white sauce pizza, and then the other one just like with the artichokes, and then the other one will just be like a regular cheese pizza. I don't think I have any other veggies. I might still have shiitake mushrooms. I don't know if they're 100% still good. Vicky, you were planning so well, and then you left your ring on. I was doing so well. Oh, I was like, why is Jeff coming over? Giving them kanji pets. Hello, Stampy. How are you? Actually, this is perfect, Jeff. I'm gonna need extra flour. I guess it's more humid in here than I anticipated. You do what you gotta do. I don't need it. You're a little occupado. Need the outside world. I'm just so sleepy right now. Ooh, hummus. Huh. Where's the egg spot? By 80%. Wow. That is a big decrease. Alright, so just kind of start putting flour in here. In here. Rawr. You get the little cup there. You can use that. The nice thing about doing it by hand too. No, a little bit at a time. It's gonna be a kind of a slow process. Alright, we'll go ahead and add some more. Yep. Is this your favorite song? Huh? That's not the beach song, but it always reminds me of it. Oh, Jeff, is it almost time for the beach thing in the Final Fantasy? No, it's not. Is it? The Moonfire?
Moonfire.
Yeah, your favorite. Go ahead and put some on my ham. Okay. I'm actually gonna take it out of the bowl right now and start kind of doing it on the table. Just, it's still pretty sticky, and I still have a bunch on my hands, so we're gonna go ahead. Oh, just a rumor. Man, I hope. Well, I guess the best way we'll figure out with the eggs is, I guess plain it. Oh yeah, I need to put a good chunk on. He's so sleepy today. Alright, go ahead and my hands. Ooh. That's having Jeff add the flour on my hands, just because then the wet pieces that are on here will at least have a little bit of dryness onto it, and it'll help get it off my hands. What we're looking for is for the dough to be not super sticky, but also not like super dry. Weird only having this little bit amount of dough. I'm used to just making so much, but we don't need that many large pizzas. Go ahead and give me a little more. I mean, in theory, you could have done like the whole thing, but it would have been such a mess, and then it would have been like, uh-oh. And we have to kind of adjust our numbers. Okay, a little more. This is the place in 15 that you'd be like, oh, I saved up all of that XP. Gonna get all that XP. Oh, enjoy that Animal Crossing. And enjoy that work. Hold on. It's mainly what I'm looking at what my hand has on it. We're almost there. You could put some in the thumb region. Yeah, flower up my hand. Okay, that should be good. At this point, if I need any more, I'm able to like grab it because my hands aren't like. Thank you. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna need this for a bit. We want to work the gluten in here. If you have a stand mixer, use that. Why not? I think occasionally I just really like being able to like knead the dough. It kind of like helps alleviate some stress. Even though I'm not having any stress right now. Right now I'm just like, okay, this helps me with like time. What? Yeah, that still has about 20 minutes in the fridge. Let's see. Maybe what I could do too is prep the white sauce. So then I have that ready for... It's still a little wet, so I have that ready to use tomorrow. There we go. And I have to wash that pan that I just used. So with a lot of the kneading motion right now, I'm using the base of my palm here and just kind of like really trying to press it out. So I'm like taking the dough and kind of like, whoop. The nice thing too with like doing it by hand, one of the other benefits is you get to feel if it's too sticky and if it needs a little additional flour in there. I find even if I use the stand mixer, I will take it out and kind of at least knead it for probably 2-3 minutes, like on the countertop, just to make sure that the dough itself isn't too sticky, too dry. It's actually it's a little obvious to see if it's too dry in the stand mixer itself, but you sometimes gotta. It's the too wet that can be difficult to tell without like touching it. A little more. Before I do, gotta get some water. Gotta make sure to stay hydrated. Everyone hydrate. Do I get that ability? Do I get the ability to tell everyone to hydrate? Yeah, this dough is starting to feel real nice. Maybe a little more flour will be added in. Just because it definitely does in this room feel a little bit more humid. Obviously, if it's going to be storming here, it's been kind of cloudy, so the moisture level is definitely higher. But that's a typical thing down here in Houston. So. And one of the reasons why, like, when you are working with a dough, your number might be slightly different from what someone does recommend in a recipe. Oh. Well, Sam, I guess I was lying. Where's my suddenly storm? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's also important while you're kneading. Don't knead like this. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm kneading. Do put like actual pressure on. Like use your weight. Kind of work that dough. Again, it is critical for enhancing that gluten, making sure that it is gonna set like it needs to, and get that good rise, and especially for like you get the good chew when eating it. I think he's having a dream. You see his eyes like flickering a little. I mean, that it would be nice if there was like something actually integrated with Twitch itself. That is currently that's the one that I have seen the best results with, but it still has its flaws. So something like doing technically helping with work a little bit on is text to speech stuff, and it's free options aren't the best, and aren't the best, especially if you're trying to do something that's off the cloud and being run on its own servers. It makes mistakes all the time, so not easy. Yeah, that's true too. Even some paid ones are bad. Like I've used like even the Google stuff occasionally, and it's just like, how did you read that? How did you think I said that? I'm trying to think what was something I was trying to say the other day, and I was just impressed. It's impressive. I don't do a lot of like typically voice stuff, and I'm like, okay. Trying to get like all the dough off my hands. So about 8 minutes. That is true. Yeah, you could always have like a live person doing it, but it's still difficult. Yeah, there's gonna be mistakes. Just the speed that has to happen. Beautiful. Yes, our dough is now feeling really good. Trying to see. Add a little bit more. Ooh. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, this dough is, I think, at a good spot. It feels good. But at this point, all we're gonna do with it is just put it into the bowl. We're gonna oil up this bowl. Grab anything else that's kind of on here. I think I added a little extra moisture from putting that into the bowl like that because things started sticking onto my hand again. There we go. Our good dough. I'm gonna go ahead and spray this with some non-stick spray. Pop it right there. Kind of spray it down again. And then put some plastic wrap on the top. Make sure it's firmly secured. And then just plop that into the fridge. So ta-da! Now our pizza dough is ready. So the nice thing is that's ready for me for tomorrow. For dinner time. So almost 4. I think we're close enough on our first set. So we can go ahead and pull out these cookies. Again, reorganize. Shuffle fridge. Add in there. So our oven has been preheating at 350. I'm going to go ahead and take these. Wash my hands first. So here's our cookies that we had kind of like resting in the fridge for a little bit. Typically I would say let them rest longer. If you can, the longer the better. But we'd be here forever. So they were in there for about 50 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead. Look at this. Kind of spread them. Oops. Oh, with the water on. Like, it sounds like there's water. Let's see. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Okay, so. So these are going to bake for 15 minutes. And then you're going to go ahead. It says 15 to 17. 15. Oop. There goes that. Main camera. Main camera. I'm going to take a moment and clean up countertop again. Always a good idea to just kind of keep that nice and clean. I guess I could also take a moment to kind of like clean my stand mixer. Whoop. Whoop. like, I said the time out loud, and I was like, did I actually turn the timer on? I think I make that mistake a lot. Move this over here. This here. Kind of slowly clean up my mess. I'm trying to think. I guess? Huh. Minutes isn't enough time. Isn't enough time to do the sauce. It takes a little bit, so I guess I'll save it up for tomorrow. For myself to deal with tomorrow. What else was I making this weekend? I don't think there's anything else I could prep. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna wait for cookies and clean my mess. Should start thinking about what we're actually having for dinner. Kind of early to start that. Or is it? Hooray! Okay. Look at me doing a good job cleaning my mixer right, kind of sort of after use. Perfect. And let me put this back and then it looks like a weird moment where it's like, well... Alright, so we're gonna have to rotate at some point. Could have put it in under the convection oven instead of the standard thing. That would keep the oven at a more consistent temperature throughout it. So I think the main reason I always forget to do it is because I try to think standard what people will more commonly have in their household. And I think it's a little rare to have the option to have convection. So I think that's why for the most part I don't go, okay, this is what you do and that. It does reduce the cooking time and all that, but yeah. As we wait for cookies. What are people... I know Sam told us earlier what he was having for dinner. What are people having for dinner tonight? Anything... Again, anything good? I think I'm making tofu tonight. That's what we have. I could also check on my... I think I have an egg... a Japanese eggplant. I do still. Is still good? Hooray! It is kind of sort of good. Well, that's good. We'll be able to have that. What else do I have in here? Nothing else too exciting. Thermal technology, air convection technology, and microwave oven. That does sound like witchcraft. I do know for me when we were looking at like places and ovens and stuff, I was like, ugh, the only thing I don't want is an electric oven or an electric stovetop. I had to deal with that You cook a turkey. See, my turkey takes about an hour. The Trivection oven. The important thing about having like turkey done quickly is cutting that back out. One of the most important things about it. Okay, so I've only watched 30 Rock once, and I'm really bad with always getting quotes over and over again. Really bad at that. Maybe I should rewatch it. Right now, it's the perfect time for that. Having TV shows in the background. Ooh, maybe I should get some cashews. And I could do the one Destiny recipe that's out in the wild right now. Oh, that's right! Right, actually. Make some Jallardoodles or Jallardoodles. I'm trying to think when I watched it. What was it? Several years back now. A while ago. I'm so bad with like remembering things from like anything. Oh, so that's about the halfway point. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a little turn. This is definitely one of the weird, like, we just gotta wait for the cookies. What other TV shows should I put on my, like, to watch list? Because right now is, like, the time to catch up with stuff. Been watching, one of my evening watches on top of, like, Nailed It, is a Terrace House. I've been slowly watching all of those, which that show's been entertaining to watch. Okay, so this is based on Jeff's brothers and other people. So I watched the first season on Netflix, not the actual first season. So the Boys and Girls in the City. I was very adamantly told to skip the Hawaii season, and right now I'm watching the one that's out of Tokyo. Yeah, so I watched through all of that. Gosh dang, Armand. What is it called? New experience? No. You are Armand. I mean, just watching Armand through the whole thing was like, You're still here. But I loved him. It was a good. I think all of the characters, for the most part, I enjoyed them in some fashion. And I was told, skip the Hawaii one because the characters aren't as good. That was the funny part. It was, I guess, what they decided to show. It was just like, yeah, he was actually doing things. Okay, so yeah, the one I skipped to was opening new doors. And I know for the current one, they're back in the one that's happening now. So I'm still watching them. They're just getting them all out. You didn't finish the opening new doors. Okay, I have been fine with it so far. The kid is a little, like, you want to change, but you're not changing. I think I'm like 6 episodes in or something like that. I really do enjoy like seeing all the different parts of Tokyo that they're like, especially for boys and girls in the city. That one was very good. I actually didn't realize opening new doors was like the part that I was like, oh, okay, I guess we're out of Tokyo. I do like that some of the people that they have, at least with the initial cast, that they have the 2 sporty people. So like the lady who plays Tsubasa, she does ice hockey, and then the guy too who does the snowboarding. And I was like, okay, at least now not every single person is a model. Okay, so that one does start slow. I mean, and I think that's fine. I'm fine with like, I need a slower paced show, so that's why it's been my show of, okay, I need to not look at anything, not look at my phone, and just kind of relax. So it's been a good like before I go to bed show. Which is why I've enjoyed it a lot. Trying to think. I know there's a new season of Ugly Delicious. I still have to watch that. I like the first season of that one. Yeah, it's just like it's a weird like. I guess I have TV shows on. I watched the first season some time ago. I have to watch the new one. I haven't touched it. It's been sitting there waiting for me. Had his other show. That one was. Did I finish that one? That one was a little odd, but I don't remember if I finished it. I just love how the show's been well. I like the like look into food. I think what else? Jeff is funny because he's not been watching all of Terrace House, but Jeff will occasionally come over and then like watch parts of the episode. So he'll be like, "Oh, okay. Wait, who's this person? What is this person doing?" I have not eaten. I'm angry. I've not gone to a David Chang restaurant or anything. I think that statement's still true. But Jeff has. He went to the. Did I send you guys? Where did you guys go? It might have been this like noodle place up in New York City. I want to go to one of his places. It's just I've not conveniently been in a locale that I could. It's on my to-do list. My to-do list of places to check out eventually. I think forward. Okay, you went to Momofuku, the noodle bar. That's what I thought. In New York. That 2-hour wait. Duck should be in more things. Places should have duck in, like, more readily available. But they don't. Ooh. I'm just like, uh-oh, you're opening the oven. Let's check that temp real quick.
You must be eager to learn more.
Oh, hello. I hear noises. So let's see in a moment. I'm gonna actually give this, whoops, another 2 minutes. Whoop, 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 whoop. Michael, thank you so much for the follow. So, what else? I think what I've been keeping up with the latest season of Better Call Saul. That one's been very good. I like that show a lot. I think what else? I think a lot of my time now recently has just been Animal Crossing. Hello. Let's think. So next week's streaming schedule is going to be a little kind of like random. I think it'll be Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I think. Oh yeah, Stampy, DM me wherever you can. Your Switch code and I'll add you. Hold on. 2 cookies. 2 cookies. Yeah, this is us getting close to the. You out. Welcome back. Welcome back, Chip. Yep, button. I hit it. Where's my... Oh, wait, it's here. I can do that. I got some flaky salt. You just kind of like flaky salt it up. Salt is a good friend of chocolate chip cookie. So we're gonna let that sit for a moment and I'll let it chill before we. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. This is my go-to recipe that wink you all will see in the future. Subtle way, wink. Oh. Yep, Jeff. I was right. 2-hour stream to make some cookies. Salt is a flavor enhancer. It does. These are my 2 cookies. What are you getting, Jeff? Salt enhances flavors. It's not only for savory things. It's great for sweets too. You never want to like overdo it either. So, I want these cool before Jeff and I get to have it. So, one big thing with this recipe, like I said, the original recipe, I like to use chopped chocolate instead of the chips. Because you'll see here, you'll kind of see some of the chocolate chips. I find when you do the cut, you'll get like nice big shards of it in places instead of this more like, oh, here's a few cookies, here's a few cookies, here's a few chips. I think that works a little nicer. These are still going to be good. I ain't going to complain about it. Yes, that is one of the big benefits of salt. You obviously don't want to put too much because then stuff will always get real salty. But yeah, salt helps enhance flavors in general. And it's something that I tell people, don't be too afraid of it using it. It is a positive tool in the kitchen. I know some people freak out with, oh no, not good for cholesterol and stuff like that. Still, you need to do a little bit. Let's see, while we wait for those two, I'm gonna take a quick look. At this point, he's melting. It's summer everywhere. I do like that the Twitch did leave those emotes in that they added for like the winter events. Because sometimes, like with the food fight one that they had, they only left one of them. Which I was like, oh. Hello? Laptop? Laptop, please? Ooh, I think that's where I'm gonna probably send y'all. I see someone making karage. Horrible. But delicious cookie. Okay, Jeff. I think these are cool enough that we can enjoy them. Our one cookie each. Oh, sorry, Kanji. I didn't make any for you. I'll give you a plate. Oh, I'm like, where's my phone? Should take. Well, Jeff, we have the option to make karage. And you could just play some sweet judgment. I'll do it for karage. That one's yours. This one's mine.
On that one.
So let me get a better picture. Right. And then eat both. You get none. He's too good. Actually, probably because it's about his like typical walk time. So he's like, even though we walked him early. Yeah. Cheers. Cookie cheers. Boop, boop. Right. No. Main poke. Me. Jeff just yelled it. Very good. These are so good. Heck yeah. Okay. So. I'm gonna grab laptop. So I guess at this point, thank y'all for hanging out. You got to watch me make some cookies. Now I have cookies for a bit. And the nice thing is they store real nice in the freezer. So, we're setting this up real quick. Thank y'all for stopping by. Tomorrow, kind of roughly the same time, I'm going to do another afternoon stream. I'll be playing Animal Crossing. I think a lot of it is going to be me trying to reorganize some of my town. And getting that all set up for a few things. I know I don't have like the terraforming or any of that yet, but I need to do that to get it done. Where do the stars go? Kind of like Star. I've only played half of a Star Ocean game. No, we're not doing single tire lane. I'm just going to move houses around and move trees around. And then maybe fish for something. So that'll be me tomorrow afternoon. And then I think sometime this weekend, we're getting the band back together. Update. This cookie's very good. We're getting the band back together. And we're going to probably play World War Z. I think that's what it sounded like. Probably Saturday. I got nothing to do. But yeah. Thank y'all for hanging out. If I don't see you, have a wonderful weekend. Yeah. Thank y'all. Angie, did you say thank you? Did you say thank you? No. No. Uh-oh. Can't slightly adjust houses? Hold on. I'm gonna have to move them twice. I'm gonna have to move them twice? That's so sad, but thank you for warning me. I guess I'll go preset. I'll go move one right now so I can move it later. Okay. So I'm going to send you all over to the hunger service. He's making karage, so get excited. So see y'all around.